from the sky. No one and no alibi. Lies burning hotter than the sun. Fake prophets cashing in the dream. Selling hope through a broken beam. What's the truth? Where's it gone? The dark echoes of a question mark. Why'd they lie? Why'd they run? Signals lost in static screams, shattered glass and shattered dreams. Who's to blame? Who's the one?
Oh, sorry about that. All right. Welcome to Goof on Vertical. How's everybody doing? This Hump Day Wednesday is now going to be the Vertical Day. Just one day a week. That's all I'm doing it for, just to see how it works. And we're going to stay on the Wednesday, so there's no confusion. Now, if it does change, and I want to do it next Thursday or next Tuesday, it's just the way it is. It's just going to be one night a week. And I made that decision today because I got to do what's right for the thing, for the channel. Because I noticed when I do the vertical, for a few days afterwards, I get subscribers to Goof On. And Rich Saves America. But I'm doing vertical every night there. But anyway, that's why. And I don't have any sightings to show tonight that you're going to be like, I can't see it. I can't see it. You can see it. And it won't be like that anyway. So we got a few people here already. Brian Yates, welcome. Jay Cerno, welcome. Cindy Krause, welcome. David Wilcox, not Wilcox. Bring back old intro. It'll be back. It'll be mixed in. No, I'm not going to go back to the original old. But I like what I hear, so I'm going to keep doing it. But thanks. Yeah, you just come in 5 minutes after the start, and then you won't have to hear it. Metalhead. Hey, how do you do? What do you say there, Chief? Welcome to the show. Helicity. What's over the under for the people bitching about format? It's very few people bitch about it. I'd have to say 2 out of 10. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Derek Kennedy, welcome to the show. Glenn Collins, how are you and everybody? Good to see you. Welcome. Teresa Pulio, welcome to. And Brian Yates, once again, welcome to the show. Cindy Crowd, how you doing? All right, but I didn't say, hey, Willy Wonkanobi. Hump Day sounds more like horizontal day. It's yeah, you're right. It's horizontal day. But, well, depending on who you are. Sometimes you can stand up, just don't do it in a shower. Stephen A, everybody. Stephen A, Sky Allen. How you doing? Good to see everybody. Baze is here. What do you do? How do you be? Nice to see everybody. We have if I don't forget tonight, we have a poll. It's an easy one. Do you believe there's a slow-moving UFO heading towards Earth and will arrive in 2027? Right now, it's like 70-30. No. You never know. You never know. You never. My thing is, it's weird that they actually bring that up out of nowhere. Scientists say. Well, tonight I'm going to play some clips here. Some audio clips, video, whatever. Hold on, let me get this microphone tightened again. I'm really yeah, how do I say it? It's weird. The things that they're saying now are really weird. That's what I'm trying. They're weird. That we can talk to them. You know, there's this some sort of vibratorial way of speaking, right? Then they swear to God, you know, they swear you can remote view these things, right? They're remote viewing. Lou Elizondo, remember that story? Me and my friends remote viewed a terrorist while he was sleeping, and we scared him together with a nightmare of circumstances, and he woke up screaming. How do you know? How do you know? You don't know, you schmuck for brains. And then they tell us all sorts of fantasy land story. Big UFO, gonna be here in 2027. Where is it? It's out there. Yeah, but where? Oh, it's out. It's in interstellar space. Is it on our way? No. It's in our solar. It's on the way. It'll be here. Slow. It's a big UFO, is what we're saying. Are they going to come and get the big UFO that's underneath the building? No. Oh. I want that one to be rescued. They built a building around a UFO, for cripe's sakes. Scary. Why would they do that? And now get this. The people who work there are all probably getting radiation sickness, right? Some of the guys like, hey, you know, I was happy my penis was getting a lot bigger, but 3 balls? Yeah. Something's going on. You know, you would think with a UFO of such enormous nature, there would be some sort of excrement coming out of it all these years. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking that way. I don't know. It's too good to be true. It usually is. So let's get started with a little bit of Lou, shall we? Debunked and disgraced, UFO activist Lou Elizondo will restart his for-profit tour. And I talked about this yesterday, I think, or the day before. He's going to start it in September in San Francisco. That's right, I did talk about it. I want to bring it up again. Charging $30 to $60 to go see the Fat Fridge. Talk about, you know, the circle. I could have swore it was a UFO, but you know, it's hey, lo Elizondo. You got some explaining to do. No. Lou won't. Lou doesn't take any accountability. They're using a credulous and inaccurate video from YouTuber Stephen Bartlett to promote this tour. Can you believe this shit? I don't think I played this yesterday. I think I forgot to play the video. Check this out, man. Lou is such a freaking grifter. The worst. Absolutely. It's so obvious.
We are absolutely not alone in the universe. And I know these things are real,
I
because
left
I was
my
asked to
drink.
investigate UFO incursions into controlled U.S. airspace by the Pentagon. These videos here, there's no question what you're seeing.
And there's more videos like this that you've been exposed to.
Oh, yeah, but they're classified because there's a lot of people that don't want us talking about this.
Should we be worried about this?
Luis Elizondo is a respected intelligence officer and former head of the Pentagon's Advanced
He's not respected. Stop that. He's not respected anymore.
Aerospace Threat Identification Program,
where he led efforts to investigate UFO sightings and unidentified aerial phenomena.
There were real things that we were encountering over controlled U.S. airspace by an unknown technology that frankly could outperform anything that we had in our inventory.
Tell us something we don't know. Right? How many times have we heard this story? You know, they're going to have a congressional hearing with a whistleblower. He's going to tell us things we never heard before. Okay, so Mr. Grush, tell us something that we never heard before. Me? Yes, you are Mr. Grush. Grush? Grush or Grush? Uh-huh. Can you get serious with us here? Okay. Sir, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I something wrong? In your words, whose words would they be? Can you tell us what you know about these NHI? We have pilots. Okay. And do I have to pull teeth? Oh, God, no. My teeth? Mr. Grush, are you playing coy with me? Are we going to play? Are we playing? Is this a game? Is this on? Hello? My mouth went right into it. David Grush. Grush? Please contain yourself. What are you doing, Mr. Grush? Containing myself? Mr. Grush! All right, here we go. Finish up with Lou Elizondo, Bonzo Beans. Our Garbanzo!
And there was a big national security issue because there's potential for these things to be interfering with their nuclear equities.
There's evidence to suggest that they turned on the
Nuclear equities. How long do you think he's been waiting to slip that into a sentence?
facilities in Russia,
All
right?
right, let me go back here. Here we go.
That's a big deal.
Where he led efforts to investigate UFO sightings and unidentified aerial phenomena.
There were real things that we were encountering over controlled U.S. airspace by an unknown technology that frankly could outperform anything that we had in our inventory. And there was a big national security issue because there's potential for these things to be interfering with their nuclear equities.
There's evidence to suggest that they turned on the nuclear facilities in Russia, right?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Oh, they can be messing with our nuclear in Russia. Yeah. Did you hear that? Oh, yeah. Well, listen.
Your equities.
There's evidence to suggest that they turned on the nuclear facilities in Russia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell me something I don't. Tell us something we haven't heard before.
It's a big deal.
But has there ever been anyone sent to jail because they've spoken about this subject matter?
Worse, my life has been threatened many times. I'm taking huge risks, but I think we deserve the truth. So,
God almighty, he is such a bad actor. How many times has his life been threatened, I wonder? How many times? You know? How many? All of our lives get threatened in this field. Grow up. No, really, I mean it. Grow up. He's talking about internet speakers, keyboard bullies, Same dickheads that did it to us, did it to him. No, you can't threaten me. I'm a government employee. I'm Lou Elizondo. Is this thing still on? Oh. Poor shit. And this guy's now going out $30 to $60 they're charging per seat, per ass cheek, right? To listen to him tell us things he's already said. Just go on, save yourself the money, go online and watch the very first interview he's ever done, because it hasn't changed. It's the same bullshit. We do have, we will have, and we can't follow. We can't, they can, and where, and there, and we just, and there. Oh God, Lou, please tell us something with substance. My life has been threatened, me and my family. Oh yeah, by who? Oh boy, people. Oh yeah? How many times was your life threatened? Many, so many I can't count. You know what? Liar. I believe his life was threatened. Of course, all of our lives get threatened. But people, you guys do it to me every day. You don't see me go, everybody's threatening my life every day. Burp, burp, burp. Please buy my book. Please watch my show. Please believe me. I'm Elizondo. Please read my book. I didn't even really write it that much. There was a ghost involved, like a ghost writer. Ghost writer, huh? The hell was that? Was that Jeff Goldblum? He made a presence here? All right. So I've got to show you this. This is, I don't know what this is. It is a UFO video, but it's nothing that you can't see here that's going to be too small of a screen for you to go, I can't see it with the vertical. You'll be able to see it. It's hold on. I played it yesterday, but I didn't play it all. Oh, I did? I played this whole thing. I don't want to do this again. It was that Jake Barber bullshit. This video that were birds. Birds. I would bet one of my souls that this is bird shit. It's all it is.
So the objects that we're
These are
looking
birds.
at are...
And well, let me tell you. I think out of all of the sightings here, what Jake Barbasol did, he put in the one legitimate sighting with 3 or 4 others that aren't legit to throw the scent off. This is a real obvious. It's a real, what? It's not disinfo. It's not. It is. Well, it's misinfo. It's disinfo because he's not telling us which one's the legitimate one. And in my opinion, I think it's the one that's impossible and not like the other ones. Like this one here. I think they're too straight, up and down. And there's another set over here in the top left. But this is what I was talking about. I like that he did this, put lines on all of these.
And here we have a grouping that I captured over my backyard. And I put trails on it so we could see that they're not just, satellites flying through the air. This is thermal. About
these are
them, the way they
birds
move as well.
Yeah, these are birds. I showed this
and
yesterday.
You can see they're interacting with each other.
Now, we went through, I would have to say in about 2005, 2008, somewhere in there, people started losing their freaking minds over stuff like this. So now, 15, 17, a whole generation later, we got people who don't know what they're looking at. So they go to the one thing that can make people excited. Drones? No. Satellites? No. Planes? No. UFOs? Yep. But they're not, my peeps. These are birds, and birds do move like that. It's a fact, Jack. All right. I just wanted to bring it up just to show you. All right, here we go. Get rid of that. Got to show you this. Okay. U.S. Air Force Undersecretary Matthew Lohmeyer discusses accounts of UFOs operating, what did I say? Penetrating solid walls. I talked about part of this yesterday, or was it the day before, where they're talking about objects that can go through walls. How many people have witnessed through their abductions or visually from a distance see people going through walls. Right? I've seen an orb go through the wall, window, wall. That's it. Well, talking about, these objects that are coming here to observe, like scientific investigation into whether beings exist in the invisible realm too, and a possible connection to the Bible, angels, demons. Now, if you take a look at the earth or the sun or any number of things that exist in space using a different lens, not the optical, but ultraviolet or infrared, what you'll see is something that looks like a sea creature flapping its wings. Remember, we talked about this a few days ago. It looks like a creature flapping its wings, swimming through the great deep. This is like flat earth talk, man. Even though in this, he says, what we used to call the vacuum of space, it seems to our optical lens as if it's empty. In fact, it's filled with plasma. The Cousins brothers are going to love that. Plasma is highly conductive. Remember, we talked about this. So there's this energy that's instant and direct and immediate between all of the stars that seems to connect every one of us. Now that's kind of making sense. That's amazing. So if that's true, then it would seem possible that you could speak with some other entity on the other side of the galaxy at the speed of thought. They proved it with, would they prove it with photons? Neutrons? Yeah, they proved that can actually happen. Hey man, this is called science, baby. This is facts. This isn't imaginary. This isn't fantasy land. This isn't somebody hypothesizing, theorizing, right? It's legit, and we're on our way to a different kind of communication. And I have to believe it. Me. I don't want to believe it. I still don't know. But it seems to be true. And if what this guy is saying and all that empty space really is plasma, sort of, kind of, that makes more sense to me than it just being empty. But it also makes sense for it to be a lot of empty space. But if it's empty space, what a waste. Then I would have to say, if everything was a construct and all of this was created by, let's just say, a god, and it was all created, we are so far away from any other intelligent species, we'll never be able to see them in our lifetime if we left on the fastest craft at the speed of light. And I believe it's a construct designed that way to keep us from invading other civilizations. And yeah, it's that far apart on purpose. And I don't think we can just blink our eyes and get from point A to point B. We can't transport yet. But here's my other theory. When we get that intelligence, when we get to that point in science, everything will be taken out. We'll be gone. There'll be an extinction level event. Anytime we have the technology to leave the solar system, they're going to take us out. Who's they? Well, alien. Our creators. That's why there have been 5 or 6, I don't know how many extinction level events. Yeah, you can just call it chance that rocks are always hitting the earth every day and eventually a big one's going to hit. Yeah. I know. And the moon was brought here. So, whatever. You believe what you want to believe. That's what I've always told you guys. Don't believe me. Come up with your own theory and explanation as to what all this means. I like what this guy said. And I kind of, I don't know. It just makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to play a few minutes. I'm having an issue here. I've been trying to, oh, here we go. Finally pulling this up.
A distinct impression that they were being observed or watched by this entity, this ball, and that it seemed to defy the laws of physics as we understand them. It can move against the wind with relative ease. It can go through solid walls and objects without any disturbance. These balls sometimes show up in rooms. They have shown up in commercial airliners or in passenger cars, and they seem to roll or float down the aisle and look at people and observe what they're doing and thinking, and then just dart back through the wall and go on off. And it's something that's reminiscent of, and this is now me getting back to your question about bases on other planets and things. It seems to be reminiscent of what it seems a spirit body, and I'm talking beings, or resurrected body of the Lord, for example, is described as being capable of doing in the New Testament or in the Old Testament. We have an account in the New Testament where a recently resurrected Lord, who's apparently taken up his body, or a body, appears in a locked room to show himself to his disciples. Well, that's impossible. It is, according to our modern laws of physics, but it's not impossible for a plasma body. It's not impossible for an exceptionally refined matter that we would call spirit, or that we would call immaterial, even if it's not immaterial. And we've got accounts of angels coming into rooms and visiting people. We've tended in the modern materialist secular mode that we've been in for some time to just outright dismiss these things, or they've somehow become taboo.
And not only that, they get dismissed or they're deemed as taboo. But even before anybody can examine these things, they're hidden from us. Do you know how many things have been archived under the pyramids that Zawi Hawass will never allow anybody else to see? Because, in my opinion, I think the narrative they found underneath those pyramids doesn't go with humans building the pyramids or regular humans. Maybe they were superhumans, real tall. So I believe there's a lot of shit that's hidden that they don't want us to know. Zawi Hawass takes care of that shit. And then we have what? What do we have? What do we use? What's that place called? That place that keeps record of everything. Starts with an S, I think. Yeah, they all this stuff goes there. It's all anything that's really important to Western civilization, pretty much the world, but basically here, the Smithsonian Institute. How about all of the stuff that's hidden there that we'll never see? How about this? Did you guys hear the story yesterday about a guy who invented a way to turn plastic into energy went missing? Yep. Found a way to turn garbage into energy. Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future. He's gone missing. Young guy, too. 32-ish. Yeah, I think he's 32. Sad. And we hear this gentleman here talking about, well, gods? Now
even scientists are willing to begin to investigate the possibility that there are actually legitimate scientific explanations for how, in fact, that might be possible for beings to exist, whether we see them or not with the eyes at all times, in the invisible realm. If you take a look at the Earth or the sun or any number of things that exist in space, using a different lens, not the optical lens, but ultraviolet or infrared, what you'll see is something that looks like a sea creature flapping its wings and swimming through the great deep.
I haven't seen it. I tried. Yeah, didn't work.
The Earth is rolling forward on its wings, and there are connections of streams of light between the sun and all of the planets in our solar system. And all of the stars are connected by these gossamer threads of light called Birkeland currents. And all of that is plasma. And it's only been in the past couple of decades that we've been able to actually directly observe these things that has gotten even the astronomers scratching their heads and saying, you know, maybe there's more to this cosmos than we've ever before been able to acknowledge. And we ought to start looking into some of these things. And maybe that explains how it is that electricity and magnetism seem to be everywhere in the cosmos, even though in this, what we used to call the vacuum of space, it seems to our optical lens as if it's empty. In fact, it's filled with plasma, and plasma is highly conductive. And so there's this energy that's instant and direct and immediate between all of the stars that seems to connect all of us. It seems to be responsible in part for even our gravity, which until now, until recently, we've chalked up just to density and mass of an object and distance of an object. But you go back to some of the earlier astronomers, to Newton, and then I really like Johannes Kepler and the Copernican age. And
all right. I don't know, guys. No, I do know. That what he said isn't true. There's no flapping of... So you mean to tell me that this thing that's flapping its wings in the void of space is just continually sitting in space, just flapping its wings for all eternity? It's so stupid. It's got to be going somewhere if that thing is legit, bro. It's not just going to sit there. Right? No. No. Sorry. I've got a bitchin' story. This is one of the coolest things I've ever heard, what I'm about to play you. This is from Dr. Dan, UAP Doctor, on X. Posted this on Monday. Doesn't matter. In 1976, an NHI took control of a pilot's plane and his voice. The guy remained airborne for 3 hours, yet only burned about an hour of fuel. And the message came in a trance state. And there's a transcript. And it starts off by saying, "You are not alone, but you must evolve or perish." Something like that. You are going into a nuclear war. You know, it's the same story. But this one has radar to back up. This is one of the best stories I've ever heard. How did I not know about this? Well, I'm going to let Dr. Dan tell you about it. He tells the story really well, even though I just told it to you. But listen to the details. And as always, you decide. Giddy up.
3-year-old kid named Rafael Perez, and he's
23.
out of this airport in Chimalacán, Mexico. And this kid, he's going to fly on his own for the first time. So he takes off at 9:15 a.m. And right away he notices that it's very foggy. So he really has not really a good sense of where he is. He can't quite find the airport. And so he tries calling in with a radio. He doesn't really hear back from them. It's sort of garbled static. So he takes the yoke and he tries to bank the airplane left. But the airplane doesn't go left. It just continues flying in a straight line. The plane begins to climb, and he's not making the plane climb. The plane is climbing on its own. There was like this huge cloud that he was basically flying into. He can't see anything, and he passes out. He wakes up in the cockpit, has no idea how long he's been asleep for, but he's immediately shocked that, holy cow, I did not crash the plane. He also looks out the window, and there's no more mist or fog. It's actually just the open ocean underneath him. And he looks at his clock and it says 11:30. Took off at 9:15. It's below 3 hours. The amount of time that has transpired that apparently I was asleep for is not enough time for me to arrive over any body of water. In addition to that, he looks at his gas gauge and it's at 3/4 tank. And he knew that not only is that way too high, but he wouldn't have had enough gas to reach any water body. And as he's coming to like, what's happening here, somebody chimes in over the radio and goes, hey, are you there? And he grabs this radio and he's like, hey, I fell asleep in my plane. I don't know where I am. And the guy on the other end, he's like, hey, this is Carlos. Are you alone in your airplane? And Raphael's like, of course I'm alone. Where am I? And Carlos is like, listen, you're just off the coast of Acapulco. And for the last hour, you've been flying out over the water. He arrived off the coast of Acapulco now an hour earlier. It takes 3 hours to get there. He apparently did it in about an hour and 15 minutes. He lands at the airport in Acapulco. And as soon as he gets off, there's these people in suits that are there to meet him. And they immediately take him and they drive him to a hospital. They drug test him. He's not on drugs. And they also have a psychologist come in and they give him a profile, make sure he's sane. And she determines that he is. And so finally they say, okay, we're going to tell you what happened. When you showed up off the coast of Acapulco, you showed up on the radar screen of who you were talking to. And he talked to you for an hour while you were out over the water and it was recorded. And I'm going to read to you the first thing that Raphael said to Carlos. The pilot is speaking, but not of his own free will. We are using him as a microphone. Your equipment is too primitive. It is not important who we are or where we come from, only that we are inhabitants of the same universe. For the next 30 to 45 minutes, the voice being projected through Raphael talked about humanity is the only intelligent species in the entire universe that uses warfare and conducts violence on each other, and you are poised for a nuclear holocaust, and you may be exterminated if this continues. And then at about 11:30, Raphael wakes up. No one has any idea how Raphael wound up over the coast, and the Mexican government quickly took this story, buried it, and now you can only access it in this obscure library in Mexico.
That's absolutely unbelievable. And there's documentation, there's a transcript, there's radar. Can you imagine? The guy had no idea what happened. And whoever this was, if you believe the story, took control of his body, his plane, his very well-being, and used him to speak. And then the message is, hey, you're using nuclear weapons. Did you know you're the only intelligent species in all of existence from 14 billion years who wants to murder each other? Are you guys out of your Vulcan minds with nukes? You're the only assholes in the whole freaking universe. Would you stop this shit? First of all, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't think we're the only assholes in the entire universe. That means one of two things. We're defective, right? And we should be exterminated. Or the whole thing's bullshit. The whole story is bullshit. Maybe it isn't. Maybe half of it is, right? But with the radar evidence, the transcripts, the witnesses, the pilot, you know, it's an amazing story. You know, where your equipment is too primitive, so we're going to use the body of one of your beings there to talk to you. With the headset on and all that shit. Yeah, we're going to use them. That's, man, I don't know. How'd they know how to use it? I don't know. Too many questions. Not enough answers. Because it always goes down to one thing. You're the only species, intelligent species, that wants to nuke each other. Wait, first of all, you said we're the only intelligent species. So do you mean to tell me there's dumb species out there? Non-intelligent species that created nuclear weapons? No, that's not what we mean. Oh, just want to make sure. I want to know where we are on the spectrum. You know what I mean? That's all. I want to know if we're this crazy or if we're too lazy. Are we this motivated or we need to extravagate? I don't know. I lost it. I have nothing. I went with a word I couldn't rhyme. But that is an interesting story. I like that one. That one makes me giddy. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta play this one. Joe Rogan discusses a Mexican pilot who was turned into a human. Wait, what? It's the same story. How'd that happen? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let's see if this is the same story. It says that a pilot who was turned into a human microphone while flying. Now, this, I've already listened to a few seconds, sounds the same but different. Check it out. Let's see if it's the same.
Okay, so this Mexican pilot was flying, and in the middle of his flying, he got confused. He didn't know what the fuck happened. He fell asleep, and he woke up and he was over the ocean.
Right.
He's like, how did I get over the ocean? This doesn't even make any sense. And the amount of gas that was missing from his plane didn't make any sense that he was able to get this far. And what they're saying, and there's a recording of this, is that this guy went into a trance and was channeling some alien intelligence that was explaining through this guy's voice that the human race is the only intelligent race in the universe that still uses war and still kills people and engages in large-scale conflict and has nuclear weapons. And
do you know, that is interesting? Okay, when I hear it that way, that we're still using war as a means of settling our differences, yeah, that makes more sense than using nukes. But let's say it is what Joe just said. I still find that hard to believe. So then you have to think, well, how many intelligent species are out there then? It doesn't seem like there's a lot. Like a handful. Because let me tell you, the emotions I feel seem pretty wired to my being. They feel natural. I don't feel like I have no control. I feel like I'm in control of all my faculties, my emotions. So I think it's a natural emotion. And for them to say, these aliens to say, we're the only intelligent species in the universe that uses war to settle our differences, I almost find that impossible to believe. However, are we that primitive? And if we're not that primitive, if you eliminate the war out of our being, then how evolved are we according to the aliens? If you take that out and we stop the war, how advanced do you think we are? We're the same. We just don't kill each other. It's the same.
and that they have to stop doing this or that someone's going to step in.
Someone's going to step in. Extinction level event. Come on, man. 2027. It's going to happen. I don't want to die that way. I don't want to die that way.
It's a crazy story. Play the story.
Someone's going to step in?
Could we play it? Some of it?
I don't know.
Just to give credit to Mr. Ballin?
I'll try. Well, now I have to find that video.
Well, everybody should just go to it. If you just tell me how to go to it, I'll just drive people to see it.
His Instagram account with Tom, but he's got a really good YouTube channel too, where he goes into all sorts of wild stories like this.
Yeah, but this was a great one. And then there's an actual audio recording of this guy saying this. Here, I'll send you the audio recording, Jamie. If you can't find it real quick. I forgot. I sent it to Tom. After I saw Tom on the show, I was like, that's fucking crazy, man. And he's like, dude, wild. And then I sent him this. I said, did you know there's an actual recording that you can listen to of the guy saying this? So if you go like halfway into it, you bizarre monotone Spanish. fake
Someone's
UFO.
making a video to watch to keep you interested on YouTube.
Oh, keep me interested. I don't know. The equipment is too primitive. This is the only way to convey. Lower that a little. A microphone. The equipment is too primitive. This is the only way to convey their message. After almost an hour, the beings would release the young aviator pilot from his hypnotic state and return control of the plane so that he could receive instructions. And at the same time, he managed to land at the Acapulco airport. Interesting. You know, that's the thing. Like, if there was a unique event where something happened and an alien race did interact with human beings and then never again, no one would believe you,
right?
Even if it was real. If it was that's the problem with like unique events. We base reality on what we experience and what everybody else experiences on a day-to-day basis,
right?
What we have evidence of. But if something happened that was completely unique like that, where they said, like, this is the only way we can communicate. Their equipment is too primitive.
Right.
We'll just take over this guy's mind and have
Right.
him say it. Like, who was ever going to believe that?
Right.
Translated.
Okay, the alien message that spoke through Rafael Pacheco Perez to the air traffic controller. It says, he speaks because he is ordered to. That is, it is his voice he speaks, but not of his own free will. We use it as a microphone. No matter who we are or where we come from, it is enough for you to know that we are beings of this universe where you belong. Our planet is many light years away, but we are physically equal. I repeat that all races in the universe are physically equal. You are not alone in the universe, and there are other races that are far away from you, and we are watching you. But he said more than that.
No, for sure.
What is the full extent of his quote? Because he said something about you're the only race that still engages in warfare.
Right.
I want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad.
I don't. I definitely think there's other life forms out there.
I do
and
too,
they're
but I
more
don't know what
advanced.
really happened.
Yeah.
I really wish I knew. I mean, I really
But this
wish I
guy
knew.
did fall asleep while he was flying a plane, so can we really trust him?
Right, and he did wake up over the ocean. But if he did wake up over the ocean, it doesn't make sense that he got over the ocean, if that's true.
Right.
Explain that. Like, how did he get there?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Did you take over the plane, move it with your spaceship? Or why'd you put him over the ocean? So if he crashed, he wouldn't kill anybody?
Right.
Why'd you do that? Like, what is...
He said no matter what direction he flew in, the pilot said, with the amount of gas that was used, he would have never seen water at all. That's the strange thing. The guy's over water when there's no way in hell he should be over water. And according to him, impossible.
What is all this?
And what's the thing with the gas being gone?
Right. Because I guess they, like, picked it up and took it.
Huh.
I don't know.
We've heard of these stories, the Bermuda Triangle guy. Remember, I went off and I was going to go here, and then all of a sudden the clouds enveloped me. They just came around, and I went through this vortex, like a tunnel of clouds, and I came out, and I was almost to the destination, and it should have been another 30 minutes. I don't know how it happened, right? We've heard of that guy. So many weird things that happen over the ocean. But that's weird. All right, let me show you this next clip. Now, you guys know Whitley Strieber, eh? He's the guy who wrote the book Communion and had the movie Communion, and that was one of the first times we've ever heard of, a second time, but in this manner, the gray beings being what they are, and everybody was enthralled and believe, even to this day. But he says, Whitley, that there might be a connection between the UFO beings, like the UFOs, the beings, NHI, and the deceased. But this guy says he doesn't believe that. Well, it all comes down to what you want to believe in. When I was going to CCD class to get my communion, I was the class clown, of course. But I asked the nun, what is heaven like? And girl next to me, sitting next to me, goes, heaven can be anything you want it to be. And I said, is that true, Nurse Ratchet? I mean, Sister Mary? If I wanted to have a harem of like 5 girlfriends, I said, I was only 12, 11. I said, would that be my heaven? And she says, yes, heaven will be anything you want it to be. Well, that's just great. I knew right there I was being lied to. But I knew all along. I stopped going to church 5 years earlier. But I had to get this done to be a devout Christian. I don't know what the hell. Just so I can go to heaven. You know, they bop you on the head. You get the thing in the cross on your forehead on Ash Wednesday. Yeah, I stopped doing all that. But is Whitley right? And were the Egyptians right? Burying the dead has been around since we came out of the caves, right? Not far after we came out of the caves. And the reason we came out of the caves is because we learned how to farm, fire. You know, things were progressing, and we were getting smarter by the generation. And with the inclusion of fire and eating meat without dying, protein, we don't know why we cooked the meat. It just tasted good. And how about the marshmallows? Oh, marshmallows back in the day. And corn dog. Sorry. So anyway, you know, they put a head of lettuce on a stick, and that was their, you know, marshmallow. But all of those years that we are humans, right? We die. And do we get repopulated back into humanity? Do we get reincarnated, for lack of a better term? Is reincarnation a legitimate thing? And if it is, well, there should be a lot more people, I would think. But I don't know. Not everybody's going to be able to be reincarnated, I don't think. I don't know. I don't believe in reincarnation. But I think I should. It's very confusing. Is that what Whitley Strieber's talking about? That if we are connected somehow between the aliens and the deceased, is there a connection to the living and the alien connection and the psychic connection and all that stuff? Why do we see apparitions? Why is it I'm watching a video and it looks like this girl's from 1800? Why is it in my own house I saw a girl look like she was from the early 1900s? In a house that wasn't even around before 1990. I don't get it. It doesn't make it make sense to me. You know? Let's see if Whitley can do that. Whitley Strieber, make it make sense to me, Big Chief. Make me believe that they were doing a job. Oh, all right. So the aliens were doing a job. Go.
They were doing a job. I didn't have any sense of them being malevolent.
Probably our mutual friend, Leslie Kane.
Yes.
I was always puzzled when Leslie went away from UFOs and started getting into life after death. And I thought, why the hell was she writing a book about UFOs 1 minute and then getting into spiritual ideas of life after death? Do you think there is a connection between whatever the phenomenon?
My wife knew a great deal about this, and it was very strange that she knew so much. But she used to always say that it was somehow connected with the dead. And she said she came out of her office one day when she was reading all the letters we were getting, and she said, Whitley, this has something to do with what we call death. And when we would take people up to the cabin to meet the visitors, in those days, that would happen fairly frequently.
When you say meet, what, you're actually introducing people?
Well, they would come up, the little beings would come up to the house and come in the house and touch people. There's a lady called Raven Dana who held hands with one of them in the cabin. Another lady, Laurie Barnes, who encountered them. She was Ann's secretary. She's since passed away. And others who haven't come forward as well. And so, we were doing...
Was it a positive experience for you?
Yeah. It was never a negative experience. It was a...
Yeah. All the people that had the experience passed away except for one. But, she doesn't really want to talk about it much. That's why I'm telling you the story, he says. Sure. People get touched all the time. Those people are dead or went crazy. But other than that, yeah, sure. Why not?
Fun, to be honest with you. The dead would be involved. Laurie Barnes, this lady, she sees her dead brother on the road, and he's disappeared for 20 years, and the FBI gave up on him. And suddenly there he is standing in the road in the afternoon. He's out for an afternoon walk. And she says, "Oh my God, come down to the cabin and meet my friends." And he says, "I just wanted you to know I'm all right." And he smiles at her and drifts away through the woods, floating up into the sky. She comes rushing back to the cabin and says, this happened. And Ann says quietly to me, "The visitors will show up later tonight." And they do. There's a connection of some kind.
If that story is real, then there should be a recording because of the prediction that was strongly felt that the visitors will be coming tonight. That is interesting. If that's true, look, there's so, Hulk Hogan just passed away, and he told a story about 2 years ago. Well, when Rowdy Roddy Piper died, several years ago, I guess now. But he told her this story. It was really cool. And he goes, at the time, brother, I was getting into Christ, and, I was finding my way back, repenting my sins. And every now and then, we'd be on the road together. Maybe you guys saw this clip. And he goes, "Hey, brother, want to get Jesus in your life, brother?" And Rowdy Roddy Piper was not the religious guy. He wanted nothing to do with it, according to Hulk. It's not something he cared to discuss. So Hulk didn't push it. He knew he wasn't going to get through to Rowdy Roddy Piper. So he never bothered with that discussion. 2 days after Rowdy died, Hulk has a voicemail on his phone. It's 2 days old. And it was after Rowdy passed. And the voicemail says, "Hey, brother, it's a wonderful day and I'm walking with Jesus. God bless you," or something like that. And it was Rowdy Roddy Piper. There's no doubt about it. Hulk tells the story. Tears are coming out of his face. Seems pretty real. But there's other instances just like that. Many, 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 many. And you have to wonder, is it because we're all connected? Are we? Because then you hear we're the only intelligent species that wants to go to war to settle our differences. How many species are there? Can we meet them? Why is it so lonely? Why can't we meet anybody? See, that's what doesn't make sense. And the alien could be lying because it doesn't make sense. Because what's the one thing you need in evolution? Competition, survival of the fittest. Yeah, the slow one gets eaten. The injured get eaten. The big fat one, can't run that well, gets eaten. The one that's not so bright, it gets eaten because it went the wrong way. You got one that was just going to the bathroom in the woods, gets eaten because everybody took off running and left him with the toilet paper in his hoof. Survival of the fittest. Competition. That's evolution. So when I hear there's no other, intelligent species out in this entire universe existence that's looking for war just to have the upper hand, I'm not buying it. I think they told us that to make us feel guilty. That's what a mother would do. Mother, can you clean your rooms? And then, clean it by 6. So 6 o'clock, 5 minutes to 6, you go into your room and your mother's already there cleaning it. What are you doing? If this doesn't get clean, guilt trip. Don't make me do it. Oh, my back. Oh, Richie, can you reach up there? Oh. Aliens and ghosts. I like it. I think it makes sense. Well, what does make sense? I'm sorry, let me say that again. What doesn't make sense to me is when I'm watching these ghost videos or having my own experiences. I don't understand why it would happen to begin with. Why am I hearing what sounds like somebody dragging their slippers on my kitchen floor? Shh, shh, shh. Right? Why? Why is that still happening every now and then? Why? Now, not a new thing, but I heard it 2 nights ago. Like somebody's tapping on my front door 3 times with their finger. Sounds just like it because I did it. I went to the door and I'm on the phone with Dark Hour and I'm like, it just happened again. Sometimes I'll hear it while we're doing mini golf and I'm like, something just tapped on the window. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, hold on. And I go, oh my God, that's the noise. It's scary. Could it be somebody? No, it's not because I've got cameras and they didn't get triggered. So how are they avoiding the cameras? And, I forgot to talk about, I didn't talk about it because I don't have the evidence. But you know how I got a camera because the outside door to my laundry room was open just about every morning. I'd go out there and the door's open. God, why? I made sure it's closed too. Sometimes I'd even lock it when I didn't want to because you have to have a key to open it. And it's a pain in the ass. But even if I locked it, the door would be open the next morning. And you guys know I took a picture of the apparition twice now. And since I put the camera in that room, it's intelligent. The door has yet to open. So you know what this apparition did? About 5 days later or so, give or take, I see across the street, my neighbor's laundry room door is open. So I wait, and they don't come out of the laundry room, and the light's not on. So I go and do a little laundry. I come back out, the door's still open. All right, fine. The next day, the door's open again. No lights on. Nobody's in there. Huh. So I go to talk to my neighbor and I say, hey, I got a story to tell you about my door. And I want to tell you about yours. He goes, huh? I said, my door was opening, bop-a-dop-a-dop. One day I took a picture and I showed him this apparition of what looks like a woman in a dress. As soon as I put the camera in, I noticed your door started opening. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. And he interrupted me. He goes, it just started like 2 weeks ago. And I go, that's when I got the camera because I wanted to capture the person. I thought somebody was breaking in, looking for shelter. Not a bad place to spend the night if you have nowhere else to go, right? So I thought somebody was coming in, taking a nap. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, yeah, that's strange. You're right. It just started. He goes, sometimes I'll even lock it. And I go, me too. And you can't open it. But he says, yeah, I'd come out in the morning, it'd be open. I go, I know, I saw it. I said, isn't that weird? Yeah. And his door's still open. So we had some pretty significant thunderstorms the last week, And during one of the storms, I decided to go back in, to go to the restroom, grab a drink. As I turn around, a flash from the lightning went off, and I see a black mass of what looks like it looked like a woman's shape. It was smaller, but all this happened within like, and then I see it and I'm like, oh, I mean, I thought somebody was there. And then once it registered in my head, it looked like the classic YouTube video of a black mass with the outline of the head and shoulders. It looked like it was wearing maybe a cape or something. You know what I mean? Like whatever they call those things that covers the whole body. Drapes. I don't know. But I saw it. Yeah, it was weird. And it was moving by the door. And I'm thinking, oh my God. It still wants to go in the door. Just open it. Nah, it is weird. Yep. And then I got the picture of her right next door. You can totally see it's the same woman. It's crazy. So every now and then I'll hear this shuffling in my kitchen, taps on the door, the window. I've had what seemed like somebody whispering or blowing in my ear to wake me up. It was like a dream, but it was, like right in my ear. It could have been a fly, who knows. But it makes you wonder if there's a connection between the dead and aliens. It really does. Maybe we, oh my God, what if, all right, check this out. Earth, this is the game. I'm going to assume we're living in a matrix reality, kind of like Total Recall. They take here's what I think we can do. We can take a recording of somebody's consciousness and become that person in their world. So this person would have had to have agreed to have technology connected to their whole entire nervous system to where when they die, they can re-upload all their thoughts and everything and their memories into a new brain or someone else's, and you could live out their life. So maybe, because we have heard children that were like 3, 4, 5 years old telling their parents, I chose you to be my mommy. I chose you to be my parents. I chose you to live with you. Hello. Is there any womb here? Isn't that weird? And then when these kids come out, sometimes they have a little friend. I got an imaginary friend. Oh, yeah? Well, not so imaginary. How about this? How about the kid who didn't know there were triplets and 2 of the 3 died, and this poor little baby was getting abused by, what they think might have been the twin spirits. pissed off because that one lived. Yeah, in the video, you see the baby get pushed. Does like a somersault. It's pretty scary. It's amazing. So why would that happen? Well, maybe the third out of the triplets, they had an agreement. Hey, we're triplets. We're going to go in as a threesome. If one of us dies, we all die. And that one didn't, right? Didn't stick to the plan. And now they're taking advantage of it while it's alive. They may kill that kid if they can. But from what I heard, there's laws when you're alive and the dead want to interact with you. They have to follow laws. Because if they interfere with the living, apparently they could go into, you know what I mean? Forever. You don't want to go purgatory forever. Unless you're into that shit. And they'll make sure you're not. So scary. What we don't know should scare us more than, like, everybody thinks, hey, I want to die. I want to know. I don't want to die and I don't want to know just yet. It's coming. All right. But I hope it's a lot better than what I've been told. Now, I want to talk about, before I forget, Elizondo. Here's some evidence that Lou Elizondo admitted he was asked to run intel ops on us civilians. Can you believe this shit? He didn't lie. He said it. We knew. He said it. Remember? We all know that's what they wanted him to use his skill set. Never wanted to be and never cared. Do you remember? Check this out with Rose Cuckold.
And we're already aware that there are people who are almost certainly connected to the intelligence community who are involved in disinformation, active disinformation.
I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community.
It's fascinating to see a coordinated public campaign, and I believe it's being run from sections of the defense intelligence community.
I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do.
Executive Order 12333, it forbids the running of intelligence operations against the American public.
I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community.
And you broke the law. Lou Elizondo should be in prison. He should be in prison for doing what he did to the UFO community. The government asked me to run the same skill set in the UFO community. Counterintelligence. Dadapdoo. Dadapdoo. That's what I do. Dadapdoo. And you know what he thinks? He thinks it's okay because he was doing what he was asked. Do you know who else said that? The Nazis. We were just doing what we were told. If you know it's wrong, morally and lawfully, you have a responsibility to the oath you swore an oath to, that Constitution. And you're in violation of it. Lock, stock, and barrel. End of story. Well, I don't know. Is it in my opinion? I think, in my opinion, this guy's guilty. Guilty! It appears to be an admission of a deliberate intelligence operation targeting the UFO research community. I'm part of that, and that's what he did. Remember what he said? We need to take him out behind the barn or behind the house.
Perhaps no one has played a bigger role than a muscle-bound man with tattoos, a soul...
What's a tattoo?
...soul patch, and one hell of a story to...
Yeah, one hell of a bullshit story to tell that nobody will believe and everybody will fake like they do. Because they're scared of little old Lou. Boo-hoo, Lou. Hold on a second. All right. So I've got some sad news. For me, anyway. It really is sad. Third phase of Moon, the Cousins brothers have a dog named Breakfast. And Breakfast passed away. He was with Third Phase from the beginning. Rescue dog, I believe. They found him. What a beautiful dog, too. 14 years he lived. But here we go. Third phase of Moon. This is a good video with an incredible UFO report that you can easily see. Aww. God, is he adorable or what? Sad. They gave him a great life, though. I can't believe Breakfast is gone.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. You've got the Cousins brothers, and we've got incredibly clear UFO videos for you tonight that will boggle your mind. Now, let's watch the first video coming in.
Ay, 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 me paro de mi asiento en este momento por lo interesante que es este video que le está dando la vuelta a la web. Imagínese usted, este chamacón, este chofer que va en el interior de su automóvil, esto al parecer...
I don't know what you guys believe this is. In my opinion, I believe this is a advertising blimp. It's a new type. I believe these are the LED screens we're seeing. I'm not sure 100%, but it makes the most sense.
Sucedió en una parte de Sao Paulo, Brasil, en donde por primera vez el que graba sí hace algo. Tal es el caso, lo repito, de este conductor que se da cuenta de que allá en el cielo hay un ovni, un platillo volador, tal como lo estamos viendo en este momento. Y él no solamente se conforma con sacar su celular y comenzar a grabar, porque dijo, no señores, esto no me lo van a creer si ya lo estoy grabando, si me está sucediendo. Arranca el carro y empieza a seguir a este platillo volador. Ojo, revíselo bien. Esto no se trata de un dron, es completamente diferente. Teníamos bastantes años que los platillos voladores no se grababan, esta característica forma discoidal. No, señores, han salido los ovnis cigarro, han salido los ovnis triangulares, pero en esta ocasión el conductor dijo, claro que lo voy a seguir y hasta donde puede. Vea nada más cómo no se queda conforme y dice, vamos, métele la pata al acelerador y va siguiendo a este objeto volador no identificado que por supuesto no sabemos con qué intención vengan. ¿Será acaso que estamos a nada de hacer ese tan esperado contacto? ¿Por qué no se presentan de una vez? Pero un fuerte aplauso y un gran reconocimiento a este jovenazo que en verdad se la rifó.
What's up, Michael Gorchak? How you doing? Thank you for that. They big drones.
Right,
Oh yeah, that's
once
right.
Again.
And there's also yes. Yeah, let me show you. They have these drones, and connected to the drones, they have like arms that are connected to it, and then there's a panel. So it would be something like this, actually. You know, it would be connected, and then the screen would be here, and the drone would be like right underneath. And right? And then it would fly it around. Here's the drone, and then it would just fly around. It's pretty simple. I saw one of these advertising drones. You're right. I forgot, Michael. Thank you for that, Mr. Gorchak. Very good. Nice to see you. Welcome. Swapman Jones, how is everybody? Raging, how you doing? Sorry I haven't been so chummy tonight. I'm just watching the show, too.
Live premiere right here at Third Phase of Moon. Good to be with everybody from around the world, and we're looking at something that when we first looked at this video just right, we're going to roll this once again. We want to get your thoughts in this live premiere right here at Third Phase of Moon. Good to be with everybody buddy from
You know, that's what bothers me about this.
the moon. Good
It's like they have it focused, and then they get out of focus.
with everybody from around
See?
the world, and we're looking at something that when we
tells
first
me it's a
looked
fake.
at this video just moments ago,
or they know it's not a UFO.
we were kind of stunned. We don't see any kind of manipulation. This is one of those videos that are almost too good.
And we saw something similar to this 4 years ago in New York, actually Jersey, for the Monday Night Football game. There was a blimp that looked super similar to this, and everybody thought it was a UFO during prime time. Remember, that was amazing.
To be true, but it is. In my opinion, we're looking at authentic, crazy footage right now.
I'm sorry, Blake. You're wrong on this one. Sorry, man. There's no way. And he said it. When it's too good to be true, it is. Hey, if you guys want to help support Goof On, all the links are in the show description.
The man really does a good job while driving and capturing the phenomenon here.
Look at that thing. I know it's hard to see. You can enlarge it on your screen. Pinch, zoom. Now, see how the screen, it's like rotating.
It's actually, he's managing to get a pretty good focus. We're going to pull up one of the clearest images of this sequence here in just a moment.
It's a drone type of deal, of course. Hey, man.
All right, Brent, do you got that file here?
If this is a real UFO...
Yeah, Blake, let's just pull up that frame right now. We're going to get a close-up of this. This is badass footage of the phenomenon. Here it is. Look at this thing. It's a clear, classic UFO, silver disc, or whatever you want to call it.
No, that's not the classic shape. He's wrong. That's not the classic shape. No. Usually it's a little more flat, and the dome is more domey. This one's got some sort of beanie on it. It's more like a hockey puck with some odd thing on. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not the classic. Because look at the bottom. You don't see the bulge on the bottom. That's what a classic disc would look like. This is not classic. This is different than anything we've seen because it's man-made.
It's a clear, classic
My opinion.
UFO, silver disc, or whatever you want to call it. It's there. This is real. There's no AI going on here, no CGI. This is, again, authentic footage. What are we looking at here, people? Okay, we're going to get a close-up.
Now, this is the amazing thing. I'm looking at the same video that they are, and yet I'm 180 degrees the other way. How is that even possible? Because I'll tell you, the language has been used and abused when it comes to describing UFOs. When people say a disc-shaped craft, now they're going with, I mean, it's sort of disc-shaped, but he said the classic. It's not.
Up about 200%. Again, he gets a really
Details
good
matter.
close-up.
Reach.
Look at this thing.
Jack, reach. Yeah, look at this blurry piece of shite. Great. Beautiful. I mean, I could have done better with my eyes closed.
All right, guys. Multiple angles.
How could we be looking at this and saying this is incredible? It's awful.
Again, he gets a really good close-up.
No, he doesn't. That's shit.
Look at this thing.
Look at what? I'm looking at what a dead man sees. Guys, come on. Are they pulling our legs with this? There's got to be a joke at the end, right? Is it April 1st? No. So weird. We could be so different on this. I don't get it.
All right, guys. Multiple angles. He continues to film. That's what I like about this one. He wanted to get in close proximity, and he did the best he could.
Proximity? Yeah. Proximity. Said it right.
it's almost something straight out of the movies. This is an action chase scene, and he's managing the impossible, capturing the phenomenon right there. What is this? This is some unidentified flying object that we've been talking about for.
I just ended the poll. 164 votes, 65% no. Do you believe there's a slow-moving UFO heading towards Earth and will be here in 2027? 65 no, 34% yes. Thank you for participating.
For the past 15, 17 years now, this is some of the best footage I've seen in years.
Why do I think the opposite here? I think this is terrible. I think it could have been the best footage. I think it could have been, but
the heat I thought was this part really got our eye. Look at this shot right there. Wow.
I guess not bad. Come on, why can't I go frame to frame, you mother's milk?
My God. People, if this isn't a UFO, I don't know what it is. Share this link if you're watching it right now on Third Phase of Moon.
But it's out of focus. Look, this is a screen. No letters, right? It was turning red, and it seemed to be rotating from this way to the back side of it. So you can see it on both sides.
Copy paste this link to your social media. Get the word out. Third Phase Moon just dropped something big. And again, this.
Anyway, that's what I think about that. Oy vey. Well, that's it. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow night with the regular stream. Thank you for putting up with this one more night. Now, look, before we go, is ICE looking for all types of illegal aliens? Even extra testicles? Are they? You guys are silly. Yes, that's clickbait, but is it? How would they be able to tell the difference? And let me ask you this. What if these ICE raids are more than just the illegal immigrants that came here unlawfully? But look, it's very complicated. But maybe they're looking for aliens? See, on my other channel, Rich Saves America, tomorrow I'm going out in the public and I'm going to ask them about what they think is going on with the alien secret. See how many people are aware and be candid and open on camera. And that'll be a video I'll be posting here as well. So I am trying to turn Rich Saves America into a journalist channel about aliens. So I want to be the alien journalist. And I'm going to give myself that nickname. I am using Wyatt Privilege as my name right now. Wyatt, white privilege. But it always confuses people when I say privilege. They don't get it. So if I could just be the alien auditor or the alien journalist, and I'm going to wear my big alien mask that's not going to suffocate me. It's very open. And it'll be fun. Yeah, this is what I'm doing at nearly 60 years old. Yeah. Look, if you, as a journalist, mind you, and a researcher, I am very interested to hear what people think is going on right now. I think the way I'm doing it is for shock and awe, but I will be able to gauge what people know. Now, I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to say 1 out of 15 people will know what's going on. They may have heard of the drones in Jersey. If they can give me something in the last year the alien crash in Vegas in the backyard or something like that, right? Or even the hearings. If somebody says, yeah, they had the hearing, right? Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. That's a good candidate for the questions. But I think it's interesting to know what the public knows, because I don't think they know anything. I think the public is completely unaware. I think the public is interested in other things right now and have been, and nobody's been paying attention. That's why when Jaime Maussan showed the world he's got alien doomy moomies, the next day nobody talked about it. We need a moving, living entity or a flying UFO. Anything else doesn't help. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Hey, look, if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. We do truthology for ufology, and we do it for you. With authority. That's right. And don't forget, tonight, in 1 hour and 3.5 minutes, Rich Saves America will be live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Thank you, moderators, super chatters, newcomers, and veterans. The vertical is over. You did it. Congratulations. Nobody died. Nobody. And we'll have a new or a different song for tomorrow. But for tonight, we're going to rock it out, my peeps. That's right. Goof on hits like a freight train. Because he does. I do. All right. I'll see you guys later. Alien bless.